Sure, abuti honestly.
When I came out of jail, I didn't have a job. I found a job at Sub Security. That job, for the first time, put me an opportunity to put my child in CBC, Christian Brothers College. My job at Sub. The people loved me at Sub. They loved me. The workers loved me. They loved me. And I was at the job at Sub. And then, with my money, I managed to put my child into a school in Bloemfontein called CBC, Christian Brothers College. I managed to give my mother 1,000 rands a week. And my father, because they were both pensioners. I've managed to buy myself a car. I bought myself compressor Mercedes. And Chap paid for my accommodation, so I managed also to save the rest. Here am I, come from jail, and I have a job that I can look after my child, pay school, pay child support, look after my parents, and buy myself a vehicle. One day, I told my boss, Rian Jonker, I said, boss, I've got a toothache. Can I come late tomorrow at 10 o'clock? He says to me, he smiles, he's like, are you sure you got a toothache? I'm like, what type of question is this man asking me? Are you sure, Mckenzie? I hope for your sake you're not lying to us. So I was a bit offended, but I was too scared to argue with my boss. How can this guy, I said to him, I've got a toothache. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the dentist and I'm going to come show him the proof I was there. So the dentist take out my teeth, take it out, or do his thing there. So I'm coming back. I still have that white thing in my mouth. You know that thing you put, that water. I don't know what is there, the cotton. So I come. When I get to the gate, there's a big toy outside the gate. All the black people there at work, they are toying. They say, when I come, they start saying, Mckenzie, yes, Mckenzie. Ik klim nog uit, ek dink, Here, die mense sing hom lekker vir my. These people are singing for me. Next moment, I jump out of my car. I said, what's happening here? No, we are toying. We don't want this. Management must go. I'm like, huh? This management must go. We want increase. They don't give us increase, they must go. I'm standing there for 30 seconds. I'm like, Gayton, what are you doing? What are you doing, Gayton? What are you doing? My child is in a private school. I even get emotional thinking about it. My child is at CBC. My parents are depending on this money every month. I've got a job today. I even can save some of the money I have left. I come from jail. These people don't come from jail. These people don't come from jail. These people don't come from jail. What are you doing here? I went, I jumped in my car, I said, I'm not toying. I'm going inside to work. They start singing a song. I called Kenny Kunyana. I said, what does this mean? Mckenzie Kili Gundwana. Mckenzie Kili Gundwana. I'm thinking, what does this mean? Kenny laughs. He says, you say you are sellout. You are. I said, okay. I went in. My boss said, you see why I asked you yesterday? I knew there's a toy today. You were the first one who would have gotten rid of. If I lost my job at that moment, I would not have been able to open more businesses with my savings. I would not have been able to be who I am today. I would not have been able to start the Patriotic Alliance. But I took a decision for my mense, my ma, my pa, en my kind. I'm nothing for CHAP when it comes to, they can get rid of me. They don't need me. Now, to be honest with you, I'm back here again today. The GNU does not need the PA. If the PA leaves, the GNU will stand. That's the truth. In that budget, the teachers for the Western Cape, some of them will not lose their jobs. The sporting facilities, a kid in sport is a kid out of court. The arts, I'm talking about myself, the department I'm running. The arts, all of that will get an opportunity now. How do I vote? They negotiated with the poor. If they care so much about the poor, why? If they care so much about the poor, why is it that they evict the people in the Western Cape? Why is it that our people in the Western Cape are being killed and nobody worries? They don't care about the poor. If they care so much about the poor, why is Langa and Guguletu stinking? If they care so much about the poor, why does our people live so like this? Why is there no staircases in the Western Cape? If they care so much, so I took a decision for my kids, for my mom and my one kid then, and for me. That's my family. The people I represent has become my family. So I had a choice. Do I vote for 0.5% and keep my people in jobs? Because you see, you colored people and black people and Indian people and white people, you see this country needs all of us to work together. But the truth of the matter is, we are not the same yet. Our kids in the communities I'm from are being killed. Your kids don't get killed. Every day we bury people. Now I must vote against policing, more police. I must vote against teachers. That is, do you know that when it comes to kids, school-going age that's not in school, coloreds are number one. When it comes to alcohol fetal syndrome, coloreds are number one. When it comes to children that started school and not finishing school, coloreds are number one. When it starts to people that coloreds, they start to the race that there's the least amount of people in varsity, coloreds are number one. When it comes to people starting grade 1 and not finishing grade 10, coloreds are number one. Now you want to get rid of more teachers in the Western Cape where the majority of coloreds live. The pain in the community. I will vote over and over for 0.5% if I have to. Because I voted against 2 percentage points. You can't get everything that you want. Now, the DA says they're standing up for the truth. Okay? They say Mckenzie doesn't want to be fired. It's true. You think it's about me? The people that know me know that if you think this is about me, you are making a big mistake. I've dedicated my life to the Patriotic Alliance. So you that didn't vote for me, that's offended, you must look at your leader, what your leader did. My people put me there. And I took a decision for my people that voted for me to be there. I represent that. In Parliament, I'm not a minister at all times. When I speak there, I don't represent the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, except when I get called to answer on things of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Julle van PA. I saw some of you writing, I sold you out. Today, you must send us your resignation. Because you must never follow a man that you don't trust. Julle moet vandag vir ons stuur, ek resign. Ga join die DA. Gaan. Heidedal, where I'm from, there's a school called Credence. There's a school called Heide. There's a school called Olympia. There's changes we wanted to make in Olympia school. But because there's building happening, they must first wait for the building to happen. We moved those changes to Credence. El Dorado Park, we're going to fix the stadium. Alexandra, we're going to build a pool. I'll make you examples. Westbury, all these places. Kwano Bulhe, we're going to fix. In Kwano, a 40 million rand development to fix the pools and stuff in the soccer field, the hockey field, the cricket fields there. If I voted against that, I can't do that. We are, for the first time, people like Mr. C, MP, Ziggy, Temple Boys, PG Powers, they get booked by government. They will never book those people. PG Powers sent me a message, that white woman, she says, I'm telling you now, she says, Minister, I nearly made an accident because of you. I said, really? What happened? She says, Minister, I heard that you said I can't charge 10,000 rands. It's exploitation. I must charge more. She says, I nearly rolled my car because when they do book me, that's what they tell me to ask. We are bringing changes. I said I'm going to bring VAR. So I must vote against what I promised the people. I said I'm going to bring jobs for our people. I must vote against that. There are children in Mitchell's Plain. They broke my heart. Here on this Facebook, they were everywhere, those kids. They said, Minister, we just want a sporting facility. Children! Where have you ever seen children get listened to? I want to tell you two examples. On the same day, I said to those kids, I saw them on Facebook. I went to the school in the morning. I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start immediately. I go to the film industry, with film meeting. There's 3 young girls, 14, 13, and 15. It's packed there. They go past my bodyguards. They say, Minister, just 30 seconds. I said, yes. Minister, we from Kalicha. Minister, we've got a center there in Kalicha. There's no movie. They talk so fast. There's no movie. I said, no, give it 2 minutes. Be slower. There's no movie theater. The speakers don't work over a movie theater. Our children have no place to study. We don't have computers. We don't... Those kids, I promised them, I went to go put new computers there. I went to put new speakers there. I went to fix that place. The same with Mitchell's Plain. Next week, I'm opening the first soccer pitch, the combi court that I promised. And the people that are doing it for the first time are from Mitchell's Plain. So I must walk away from the first time when the people that voted for me stated political power. On Bizan them, I came in and I was attacked by the very same DA when I said, why is it that colored people are not being hired here and Indian people in my department? On Biza, I was fighting day and night. People are fighting for you. You know, I look at Bino Farmer, man alone in the NCOP. Bino Farmer, men alone, that men fight there. Biza and them. Jasmine and them. Some of you are sitting on boards that you've never sat on. Some of you today, you have a voice. I can speak there. But the wit man sê vir jou, Ek het jou uitverkoop. Here, ek het amper gesê, fuck off. Gaan met die man, gaan. Moenie weer vir my voutie. Moet nie weer vir my voutie, laat ek jou nou vertel. Moet nie vir my voutie, is alright. Hulle het hulle vir 30 jaar gelos en nooit vir julle iets gedoen nie. En hy het al since I come from jail, there was no development happening there. For the first time now in Heidelberg, there's development that is going to happen from next week. Kwanobuhle. What is the... You know, hulle maak my mal. Kwanobuhle. Kwanobuhle. Those people came, old women. They came with the ex-ambassador of Japan. For the first time, Kelvindale swimming pool was closed for many years. The DA was the one fighting. Today, you have a lot to say about me and Fadil. Now, you colored people, I've got one question for Mckenzie. I saw you spoke about Fadil and myself. You see that guy, Fadil Adams? He fights for the people, let me tell you. He's no sellout. We are on opposite sides. But you see, me, I don't have jealousy. The people that wat ek my lewe voorgee vandag is die wat sê kruisig hom. Yes. Sien Fadil. Fadil fights for his people, let me tell you. And Mckenzie, I've got one question for you. Just one. Got one question for Mckenzie. You talk about me and Fadil. Do you know that the DA got 6 ministerial posts? 6. And deputy ministerial post. They didn't put one color there. Daar is die goedes wat hulle moet kyk. They had white, they had black, they had Indian. They didn't have one color. Jy moet jou back hou as het kom by goedes van PA. Kyk vir jouself. Die majority voters van die DA is coloreds. They didn't have one colored, not one colored minister, not one colored deputy minister, not one. Die los vir ek en Fadil uit. Not one colored. Freedom Front Plus het ons het uitverkoop. Ja, weet jy. Ek gaan kyk die leierskap van my party. En sê my, sien jy yourself daar? Do you see a black or do you see a Indian or do you see a colored? So julle moet niks sê van ons hier. My heart is so for the 0.5%. If I had my way, I would have had 0% if I was a kingmaker. But I wasn't a kingmaker. So since when does the DA care about the poor? Vir die eerste keer gaan daar iets vir ons mense gedoen word. For the first time in KwaNobuhle, in Kalicha already did something. The people of Kalicha already did something for them. I'm now opening a thing in Mitchell's Plain. It has never happened. Onze mense in Klaver, Eldorado Park. Moet ek nou, must I vote against all those plans I have? Ek sal dit nooit doen. Hulle sal my weggezag. They don't need me, the GNU, to be honest with you. They don't need the Patriotic Alliance. We only have 9 seats. As hulle nie vir die DA gevote het, then we would have been an anchor party. But the truth I wanted to tell you today, we are not an anchor party. So hou maar jou back, Angus. You must yourself vra, why is colors the people voting the most, but when it comes to positions, you guys didn't put us? Why were you not made the minister? They took Indians, they took whites, they took blacks. Why didn't they take one colored? Tell me, I want you, before you talk, answer that question. We are building one South Africa. Maar moenie met ons begin nie. En julle wat sê Gayton het uitverkoop vir blou ligte. I want to answer that one. Gayton is now minister, has got perks. Hy het no bodyguards. You know, it's just the people like Divan and them. They are sworn to secrecy. Jy ken nie my lewe nie. You don't know where I live. You don't know what I have. You don't know. You don't know the charities I give money to that the Divan and Michelle and them are not supposed to talk about. I've dedicated my life to the poor people. I live for the poor. Because I was poor. Nou wat hulle soek my ADG en new uit. Nou gebruik hulle. They want me out because I'm doing for them. Why have they never opened that thing in Klaver? Why have they not opened it? While my department gave 20 million rand. Why have they not opened it? When I became a mayor, a minister, I said that thing shall be opened. I gave them the date. Why? Was nou warm hier. Ek sit in die kar. En ek wil nie die aircon. Hulle het my gesê van die aircon, sê ek nou. Why is it? Tell me. Dat het nou onze beurt is. It's our turn to also have service delivery. To also now I must be removed. Now, if they don't like this, as they say, the blue lights, me, I've always had protectors. My daughter says to me the other day, she's there with me. She says to me, Daddy, the way I'm wishing for ice cream now. She says, nou voel ek my sleg man, I don't have ice cream. I said, come. Now, I'm not supposed even to do that, but I said, come. She says, where are we going to? My daughter's 13 years old. I said, let's go buy ice cream. This is 11:30 p.m. 11:30 p.m. 11:30 p.m. at night. She says, Daddy? She says, yes, Daddy. I said, yes, let's go with Daddy to go buy. She's like, who's going to take us, Daddy? The security at the gate. He can't drive, Daddy. Those securities at the gate can't drive, Daddy. I said, don't worry. My daughter is 13 years old. She didn't know I could drive. She was so shocked.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gayton Mckenzie is furious. He's furious and he lays out his case. And he lays it down case by case, matter for matter, and in detail, making sure that everybody understands exactly what it is that he's saying. Listen to this full clip and you find that he understood the weight in which he's boxing, and that if it's not going to box within his weight, definitely going to find himself out of the race and out of the possibility of making changes in the lives of South Africans. And all in all, in a short summary, that is basically what President Gayton Mckenzie of the Patriotic Alliance and the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture of South Africa is actually referring to. Because in the many cases that he does emphasize that where was he going to be able to get this power to do these changes in the lives of South Africans, in the lives of the colored communities, if President Cyril Ramaphosa didn't appoint him as the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, if President Cyril Ramaphosa did not give him the powers that he has today to be able to effect change in the lives of South Africans. Most importantly, if us patriots did not vote for him to actually be in a position to be afforded a seat in Parliament and a seat in ministry, So we also have to assess a whole lot of these things because they are very, 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 very important. And if you look at these things, you find that Gayton Mckenzie was taking the best decisions that he sees fit for South Africans. Because he does also emphasize that if it was up to him, this wouldn't even be a 0.5% increase. It will be a 0% increase. But because ANC have already made decisions, there's nothing can really do but actually put in inputs. Like some of the things that they mentioned are going to be zero rated. So it's also very, very important to understand that sometimes our leaders make decisions also understanding the power that they can actually play and what they cannot actually do. Because a party like the Democratic Alliance is a party that is able to generate a whole lot of numbers because it is a big party in parliament. So they are able to cause a distraction should they choose to leave the GNU. Hence, they act the way they act. But also, if you go and check how the Patriotic Alliance has actually aligned itself, is to actually allow itself to be there in the possibility of making change, and that is very, very important. And so that is what you see that the president is actually supporting and actually emphasizing, but also emphasizing that this is not what I'm actually looking for, the perks of being a minister, but actually the perks of being able to effect change upon people's lives. Like he has always said, what he wants is power to make a change in the lives of our people. That is exactly what the president, Gayton Mckenzie, has been doing. And that is what we need to appreciate the most. Because he has been consistent in his sayings. For many, it might not have been consistent. But for him, it has been always consistent. And has never been disappointing. Also need to look at one other thing, is that in all of this that is happening, in the VAT increases, in the budget speech, if you are a patriot, you cannot question your leader online. You can ask him the questions when the time is right, but to say he's a sellout, not understanding the reasons behind the decisions, you will never always understand the reasons behind decisions. That is why certain people are leaders and certain people are followers. And if you decide somebody is your leader and you're going to follow him, then you follow him. Even when you disagree, you be like, okay, well, we'll see. But you follow him and accept. Why is this? So patriots, it's also very important that we take a whole lot of time to learn politics and understand a lot of these things that happen, because they are very, very, very important. And they shape our lives going forward. Because the decisions that are made here will all affect our lives and how we live on a daily basis. So it's very, very important to continue to engage in politics, to continue to engage in the things that are happening, and not just Patriotic Alliance matters, but matters of politics in South Africa as a whole. Patriots, continue to like and subscribe, comment, and I'll engage. But most importantly, subscribe. Salute, don't buy Zani. Abambe.
Sure, I would do ownership.